Welcome to FlamerGaming. Ta-da!
Hello and welcome back to FlamerGaming. In this episode, it's my game again, The Scrolls of Ithidor, the Great War, and yeah, sorry we haven't recorded anything in such a while. But yeah, Seb haven't got a desk at the moment, so that's a bit of an issue. Yeah, sorry. I lost my mic cover at the moment, so hopefully that'll turn up soon. So you can probably hear me breathe quite well. So this is my ship construction for the game, which is going quite well. Sorry. About that. It's taken about a month to develop, I think, and it isn't fully done yet. So, and there are three different cameras. Well, two cameras and a HUD bit. The top left one is a side view of the ship, and you start off with just the skeleton of the ship. So, which will have three different depths. So, deep, medium, and light, which will affect the speed of the ship and how much floors you can have, etc. The top, where the camera can move if the mouse is on there. You can zoom in, zoom out by using the arrow keys and the plus and negative. You can zoom in with the mouse scrolling in, but I haven't got the mouse scrolling out working yet. If you press R, it resets. So yeah, you can name the sketch, so sketch 01 or something. With this, there's inventory pages. You can use the arrow keys to move it. That's a bit of a bug at the moment. So you can use the arrow keys to scroll through, or you can click down here. So there's a total of 4 different pages. These will probably be the final pictures for it. All these haven't been done yet. The designs for the objects on page 2, 3 and 4 haven't been designed except from the cannon and the barrels. And the wheel, but they haven't been programmed into the game yet. So this will allow tons of different designs for the ships. So there's 20 different objects you can design your ship with, and the max floors your ship can have is 7, I think. So I think it's 3 below deck. So 1 on the front deck, so the front part of the ship, the kind of T shape at the front, and you can have 2 at the back, whole bit, so here. That's 5, but if you include the, is it? No, that's 6. Wow. And if you include the top, like the base deck, then there's 7 decks. But all these decks, they need support beams. So these support beams, as you can probably tell, I got that selected. So yeah, this isn't fully done yet. So as you, wow. So it's red at the moment, So if you make it in line with these side skeleton beams, you can line it up and it'll go black within a suitable degree of accuracy. Wow, that was terribly said. Um, I'm gonna have it so they're locked at certain um, depths, so there's no chance of you mucking up and having it so you can't walk around your decks. Also, wooden flooring are done, so if that goes there, then it's it's in the correct location. So if it's supported by the beams, it works, but if I remove one of the beams and then put this there, it won't go correct. So that fully works for all of the flooring, but not for other objects yet. So if you can have different thickness of walls, which allows for more, so you can have more weight on your ship for better protection, and have less ship protection. So there are two different modes with, well, less protection for a quicker ship. So there are two different modes for the walls. So if you right click on the walls, you spawn in the side, which you can this is quite fiddly at the moment, so you can line it up and it flips depending on what side you're on. So, but you can't you can't you can't have multiple layers of wood, because that would be a bit unfair, I think, because people could have the light thin walls giving the same amount of protection by having them layered up and weighing less if I don't do it exactly right and stuff like that. So yeah, so when you finish with designing your ship, for example, you can click previous sketches, or if you want to change it, and it takes a photo of your sketch and shrinks it down to the correct size. So you can so it saves your sketch, so you can leave the game when this is implemented in and just come back later and still have your design there. You will be able to trade these and sell them, etc. in the game. Also, they can be burnt and destroyed. So if you design this amazing ship, which is incredibly fast, and you don't want anybody else to get the blueprints on it and things like that, you can burn them, but you'll also be able to reverse engineer, hopefully, the ships, so you can, so if you capture an enemy ship and you like the design, or you want to learn more about the ship, so where the weak points are and everything, you could set your crew or your friends and stuff can dismantle it and then get the sketch from dismantling it. This would allow more tactical stuff to happen in the game, and people to be more wary of enemies capturing ships, because they can then duplicate them and cause more damage to their ships. So at the moment, so that's the sketch name which you put there, so you can name your sketches. You can carry a total of 10 on you at a time. Sorry about the breathing. Which allows for you to have different designs, and this will also be the same editor for cart design. So they're the different designs which are all being loaded in from different. Yeah, it's a bit buggy at the moment, that bit, but they're all being loaded in from files with so there's a file containing which is served but which is kept on the server, all the different sketches you own, so what you got in your inventory, and then there's the image number is the same. I'm doing all these hand gestures which you can't see. So the name of so there's this file which contains all of the sketches names, and then that gets sent across to you from the server whilst you're playing, but it's updated constantly by the server and will only be sent across if you do certain actions to stop cheating and changing of things. I'm doing a lot of arms. Wow. So, wow. I'm in an endless arm loop. So, the thing I'm trying to say is there's a file containing all the names of the sketches your guy got on him, or girl. And that file will be sent across to you from the server when you log in, and contain all of along with all the pictures of the sketches you got in your inventory. So, and the coordinates to load that object in. So you can go over a friend's house and still have your sketches from your account instead of having to play on the same computer each time, and it will allow trade. I just did a whole bunch of rambling there, which had no point. So, to show you the load feature, I'm gonna have to close this and load it back up. So, I'll be back in a second. So, I loaded it back up, and this is how it loaded it in. It isn't exactly correct yet, as I haven't gone through all. I'm having to, for some reason, manually write out all of the objects you can place, because I'm having to name the objects, which in Dark Basic Pro you can't name them. So I'm having to go through writing out their names, which is a bit tedious and does cause more chance of errors. But hopefully it'll work and won't take up too much memory, etc. It doesn't take very long to save. It takes about 2 seconds, and that's doing all possible objects, I think, at the moment. So it's incredibly fast. So yeah, that's the ship construction so far, which is coming on quite well. Few errors, but isn't that much wrong with it, so that's the main thing I've been working on. Hello, and well, I already said hello this video, but anyway, I'm losing a bit of track because this is the 3rd time I recorded it, as I just realised I had half my I have done the collision. So I'll tell you what the numbers mean. So the top left one, in the very top left of the screen, is the FPS. So my current frame rate is 120 roughly slash 119. The camera position, which I think is meters, I can't remember what measurements Dart Basic Pro is. The object which I'm loading, and these are all hotkeyed. I can also type in my own .jpeg, well, .x or whatever I want. And if that file exists and the program can find it, then it will load. Object selected, which I can scroll up and down using the plus and negative keys. I forgot which button it was. So their coordinates are quite far away. And when if I can spawn in the objects, and when I left click, I can that loads it in. I use my arrow keys, well, my WASD keys, to position it, and the game gets where the camera, where the floor is underneath, so it's positioned automatically at the height of the ground. I'm going to make it later on so stuff like misc items and weapons and stuff I can pick the height of, so I can make fully customizable scenes. And this is part of my Ironworks engine which I'm working on, which the game will be run in. Well, run in, is it? So, at the moment this isn't the, this won't, this is very basic. So the brown around the outside, it's the sea, it haven't been filled up yet. This is the grass, and there's a few mountains over there which haven't been done fully. This doesn't look particularly big or impressive, but it's in early stages, and so if I click, he's a normal size human, a bit higher than the average. But when I zoom out, this is the scale of the game. So, as people on Facebook probably already know, from the Where's the Night pictures, which I haven't posted, which I didn't post last week because I forgot, but that will be done. So, the scale is pretty impressive, and this is because, as I said earlier, the game we're going to have a possibility of thousands of nights on the screen. So the draw distance is massive, and there are 100 of nights here, and it's still running at 30 FPS with all this on screen. So it doesn't look like I've done too much. There will be fog, there will be sky like in the other ones. I'm just having a bit of an issue making it work with Blitz terrain, which I used to make this. Well, the ground and the hills and stuff, but it will be done. So, hang on, what? I forgot what I was saying. It will look like, it will seem realistic, and you can see in the distance with low graphics. So all of this map have been mapped out on paper, it just needs putting into place. So this is the first city I'm working on, which are called Hawthorne, I think, and this is for the Empire. The Empire are they're the most powerful. They got the most territory in the game so far, and they're, well, when it starts, and they're much like the usual they're similar to the usual medieval cities slash games. So the scale, which I'll show again, is quite big. So these cities in the game will be enormous, and there'll be small villages and towns, etc. Um, there's no roads at the moment because I'm trying to do a drawer, well, a real-time map, well, texture editor, so I can draw the streets in real time and then save it and make it look better than having to go along and doing it. So the FPS is quite reasonable. It's faster the lower you are on the ground. So there's quite a lot of there's a bit of variation between the buildings, so they aren't too samey. Small alleyways and such to allow for this will be filled with people, so knights and soldiers who the king had picked to patrol certain areas and to protect the city, but also civilians walking around doing their day-to-day lives and relying on the players and things to make sure they live. There will be ways up into the towers, and every single building will, in theory, be able to go into and talk to the person, just enjoy yourself. These cities can also be feel like a living city. These cities are also upgradable, much like well, they will be, much like the cities in well, such as in Assassin's Creed 2, the your Uncle Mario. I forgot. Mansion, where you can upgrade the shops in the town and parts of your mansion and stuff like that. So they'll be predetermined upgrades, so you can't just go, I want to build a farm here, kind of thing. Well, you will be able to do stuff like that, but I just don't want to make the map fully covered by buildings and have no forests or different scenery in it, so I'm going to restrict some of the options you can have on certain things, such as increasing the size of the city. They're quite big. This is the capital of the empire, and it winds up the mountain and up. This will all be a massive castle in the grounds, and this will be like the richer district, and this will be the mediocre slash market souls district. So this is gonna take quite a while, but there'll be an awful lot to do in this territory. Well, in this map. On this map, I mean. So there's the cow cart down here. This is the wood elves along here. But they don't go across into here. This is the iron coal. Helath is in the middle, and the Nord, I got the wrong side, other way around. So they're the orcs, they're the High Lords, who are quite cool. My line of soldiers, the No Cow over here, and this is I can't remember what I called the throne, but this is pretty much the major part of the map which have the most strategic value. as it got access to effectively anywhere on the map, and it's a central location, our island, and so there's the throne of Ashgard on there, which is currently controlled by the Empire. It doesn't mean they own the entire map. It just a symbol kind of thing, and it will probably give a morale boost or something of that nature to the faction which owns it. There are going to be lots of separate factions and lots of hidden-ish factions which may be considered myths, and there will also be fake factions which are considered myths. So factions may exist, may not exist, which you read in books, which I think will make it seem more realistic and more feel more alive. There, I need to fix that. It's a bit weird. But I'm going around awfully quick for the compared to the map. So there's also going to be an endless technology tree if you're interested in researching, and they'll be recorded on paper so people can burn them down and stuff. So there can be dark ages in my game, well, in the Scrolls of Ithildor, which will allow more realism, and so you can nick technology from other players or trade technology and everything. And I know that sounds like if you're a new player, like a year after it's released, people will be really far ahead of you, but that isn't the case, because the server will work out roughly where the lowest person with the technology is, and all new players will come in at the lowest player technology and who played in a certain amount of time. So they won't be left too far behind, but they won't be more advanced than everybody else, and it won't give it incentive for people to make new accounts to become more advanced. And use scholars to research the new technologies. So you pick a certain field of technology you want them to research, and they just keep researching that until they can't either anymore, or you pick them to do a different task. This is incredibly jumpy, the terrain, but that will all be repaired and, well, improved in good time. Thanks for watching. I will be hopefully doing more update videos of the game. The reason why I haven't done any more since before now is because the ship construction, you couldn't really see anything worth showing because it was all kind of in the background, so there were no visuals to see, which made it kind of a bit of a waste of time to show if I did videos beforehand. Hopefully our videos will be coming out more often on the channel in general. Sorry about the issues with that. So yeah, I think that's all up to date. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, bye. See you next episode.